channel. Today we are doing something and I'm not really sure why. Doesn't matter.
Alright, so I have absolutely no idea what happened with the intro, and you and I both know that technology and I are not friends. So we're just gonna have to make this work, and you're just gonna have to roll with it, and we're just gonna move along. So here we go. Math lesson number 5. We are talking about adding and subtracting fractions. I have already taught this. You have already learned it 4th and 5th grade, but we're just going to review. That way you stay prepared for 6th grade. So let's go. So if you think back to school when we were all together, we would do the cubes strategy before we worked out a word problem. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now, except we're going to go through this cube strategy first before you maybe possibly have forgotten it. I hope not. And then we're going to go from there. So first step right here we have is C for circling the numbers, U underlining the question, B for boxing in the keywords, E for eliminating the info that is not needed, because you and I both know people like to put a bunch of extra junk in word problems just to try to trip you up. And then finally S for solving and showing your work, and then putting it all together to make cubes. So let's use that strategy here. Donna, why in the world? I don't know why these circles are there, but we're just going to go with it. Donna has read 3/8 of the books in her library. If she reads another 1/4 of the books this summer, what fractions of her books will she have read by the end of summer? So we're going to go through the cube strategy. First, circling the numbers. So there's 3/8 and 1/4. Then underlining the question. The actual question here is, what fraction of the books will she have read at the end of the summertime? Then next we have boxing in the keywords. I chose another because that means she's adding something to her original amount. And then finally we have eliminating information that's not needed, but honestly we kind of need everything in this word problem, so let's just skip that one. So she's right here, another adding to her original collection, so we're going to perform the addition operation. So we need this 3/8, we need this 1/4. We're putting both together, so we need to add them. We need 1/4, and that will equal, we don't know yet. Let's see. First step, see if they have common denominators. They do not, so I'm writing out all my numbers here, and those wonderful red circles that were there to begin with gave away that 8 is the common denominator. So we don't have to do anything to 3/8 because it's the same, but we need to do something over here to this 1/4. Now, 2 jumps to get to 8, so 4 times 2 will give me 8, so that means my denominator is going to be 8, but I multiplied the bottom by 2, so that means I need to multiply the top by 2. 1 times 2 is 2, so it will be 2/8, and that will give me 5/8, because again, we leave the denominator, add the numerator, 3 plus 2, that's 5. So she will have read 5/8 of all her books if she keeps reading at the same rate in the summer. Moving on to question 2. Before recess, Jerry put together 2/5 of his puzzle. After recess, he put together another 1/3 of the puzzle. How much of the puzzle has he completed? Let's do the cube strategy. Circling the numbers. There's 2/5, there's 1/3. Then we have underlining the actual question. How much of the puzzle has he completed? That's what we're trying to go for here. Boxing some keywords. I chose another, again, same as last time. I chose another because that means we're adding something. We're getting another of that thing that he already has. So that kind of gives away that our operation will be adding again. Next, we have eliminating things that we don't really need. It doesn't matter if it was after recess or the next day or 12 years later. It doesn't matter. All we need to know is this main basic part. So we don't really need that. Let's get rid of it. So we're putting things together. That means we're going to do the addition operation. So let's see, we need this 2/5. We need to do addition. We need this 1/3 here. We're putting all of that puzzle that he's done together, and that will give, let's see, well, we can't do that because we don't have a common denominator, so we have to list out our multiples here, find something that is in common. In this case, it is 15. Okay, let's see, 1, 2, 3 jumps will get me to 15, so that means I'm multiplying by 3. 1, 2, 3. 5 times 3 is 15, so that means we have to do that to the top. 2 times 3 is 6, so we have 6/15 here. We're going to bring down our addition symbol. Let's see how we get to 15 on this side. Let's see, 1 jump, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps. 3 times 5 will give me 15, so that means the top times 5 will give me 5. So 6/15 plus 5/15 will give me, let's see, we're carrying over a denominator, adding our numerator, will give me 11/15. So she will have read, or he will have read 11/15, or read, what am I even saying? He will have completed 11/15 of that total puzzle so far. So not quite, he needs to keep going, but he's getting there. All right, 2 more problems and then we will be finished. Tom wrote in a journal over the summer. If he wrote 3/5 of the pages, what fraction of pages were still blank at the end? So we're trying to find the difference here. Let's see. Let's do cubes. Circling the number. We only have 1 number here, but we know if we're trying to find the difference of something, we need 2 numbers. So where's the other number? Well, think about this. If he's writing in that entire journal, that means he has that whole entire book to start with. Now, the key word I said there was whole. The whole book. Well, let's keep that in mind. Let's keep going with cubes. Okay, circle the number, underlining the question, boxing some key words here, still blank. That means we need the difference. Doesn't really matter what he's writing in or when he's writing in it, so let's get rid of that. Okay, now let's solve our problem. Now, I told you a few seconds ago that he started writing when he had that whole book. Okay, now look at this. We know that when we represent a whole, we put the same number on the numerator and the denominator. So that means we're going to need 5/5. That represents that whole entire book that he has, the whole journal that he has. And he has written in this much of it. So we need to find what is left, and that is 2/5. So again, the whole book minus what he's written in already will give me how much he has left. He has 2/5 of the book left. Okay, let's go to the second. Ron brought cupcakes to school to share with his classmates. By the end of the day, 5/8 of the cupcakes were gone. What fractions of the cupcakes did Ron have left to take home? This is kind of similar to this problem over here. Let's do cubes. Again, there's only 1 number to circle, so that probably means we need a whole. Keep that in mind. We're going to underline the question, box some keywords here. Now I chose gone and have left, telling me that something is being subtracted. I'm trying to find the difference. And again, eliminating this extra junk. We don't really care where he brought his cupcakes or what he did with them. Doesn't really matter. Let's just focus on the important things here. So again, we need the whole box of cupcakes that he brought. And now we have 8 as our denominator. So we represent that whole entire box as 8/8. And we're taking away what was eaten, so that was 5/8, and so that means 8/8 minus 5/8 will give us 3/8. There's 3/8 of that box of cupcakes left. Alright, so that was it. I hope you got some good review out of this. There is an assignment that I put on Clever and on Teams. Please remember to do your assignments. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the year, but you guys cannot start slacking off now because now we're doing the most important review. So I will see you next time. Be sure you do your assignments and stay safe.